Hi, and welcome to Yoga, Pilates, and Stretching with Ann. Today's class is going to be about an hour long Pilates class with some yoga and stretching in between. Let's get started. We're going to start on our back with our feet bent and our hands resting at our side, palms up. Just take a few breaths as you tuck your shoulder blades in, your shoulders down. Lift your hips up, lengthen your lower back, and release to the floor. Extend your legs and reach your arms overhead as you inhale and stretch. Take a nice mountain stretch, reaching your fingertips to one side and your feet to the other. Point your toes, flex your toes, whatever feels good. Take a nice long stretch. And then bend your knees again. Bring your arms around, bring your knees in, and take a nice knee hug. Hugging your knees towards your chest, breathing, rolling from side to side. And then reach behind you, reaching for your thighs, lifting your legs up. Now you can keep a gentle bend in your knees if that feels more comfortable to you, or you can straighten your legs, whatever feels good. And you can hold on to your legs, or you can reach your arms up. We're going to do dead bug. And for dead bug, you just roll your feet, roll your hands in a circle. And again, if you need to hold on to your backs of your thighs, hold on to the backs of your thighs. But if you can hold your legs up yourself, then incorporate your hands and your arms into this stretch as well. Your head, your hips, your back is resting on the mat as you rotate at your ankles and at your wrists, tucking your belly button towards your spine. And then we're going to pause for a moment and reverse the circle. So go in the other direction. Taking your circles as wide, as comfortable as you can while you stretch your arms up, stretch your legs up. Some people call this dead bug. I call it half dead bug for obvious reasons, but it's always a nice pose to do either first thing in the morning. You can still be in bed when you do this, or at night. It allows you to bring the liquids from your hands, from your feet, the fluids back to your heart, back to your lymph system. And then point and flex your toes. So point and flex, and your hands, point and flex, point and flex. So just bring your fingers and your toes in one direction and the other, forward and then back, pointing and flexing your toes, moving forward and back at the wrists. And then release your feet down, release your hands down. And now we're going to take a few bridge poses. So I want your feet to be on the floor, your heels coming towards your glutes. Your hands are by your side, palms can be up or down, and I want you once again to tuck your shoulder blades in, tuck your shoulders down, and lift your hip just slightly, tilting your tailbone up as you lengthen your lower back onto the floor and release your hips down. We're going to take a bridge pose. So we're going to press into our hands, press into our heels as we lift our hips up, pointing our tailbone between our knees, lengthening from the crown of our head resting on the back of our head and our shoulders. Trying not to strain your neck in any way. If your head or neck feels strained, come back down a little bit, more onto your shoulders than onto your head and neck. But try to keep your hips lifted, your back lengthened, pressing your knees forward over your toes as you lift and lengthen in your bridge pose. Tucking your belly, once again, your belly button in towards your spine, in and up. Take a breath here, and then on the exhale, release your spine slowly from your shoulders, coming down, placing your spine on the mat, ending with your hips down. Now we're going to take that bridge pose into a flow. So we're going to press into our feet, and as we lift our hips, we're going to lift our arms up and overhead. Once again, looking up at the ceiling. Don't look from side to side. Bridge pose is considered an inversion. So you want to look up at the ceiling or close your eyes. You don't want to look from side to side. Exhale. Bring those hips back down, placing your spine on the floor, one vertebra at a time, and bringing your hands down. Let's do that again. Pressing into your feet as you lift your hips, lift your arms, lengthening your fingertips away, overhead, lengthening your knees and your tailbone forward. Take a breath here as you stretch and reach, and then exhale as you place that spine down, lift the arms, and bring them down again. Let's do 3 more of these with your breath. Inhaling, your hips up, your arms up, lengthening from the crown of your head, your fingertips back, lengthening, and then exhaling, laying that spine back down, bringing those hands back down. Let's take a nice deep breath again as we lift and lengthen, pausing at the top, and then exhaling as we come down, laying our spine down, releasing our hips, releasing our hands. One more time, bridge flow. Inhaling the hips up. Let's make this one really good. We're stretching those arms. We're lifting those hips as high as we can, pressing into our feet evenly, pulling our fingertips behind us. Let's pause here for a breath. Taking a breath as we lengthen and lift, tucking our bellies, and then on the next exhale, slowly bring our spine back to the mat, lifting our arms, and bringing our hands down to touch beside us. I want you to bring one knee in and the other knee in for a knee hug, rolling from side to side, gently massaging your lower back. And then release your feet down and gently roll over onto your side. So we're going to do some side exercises. And the first thing I want you to do is to lengthen your legs on the mat, stack your hips, and you can be either up on your forearm or you can lay down and just release your head either down to your forearm or you can release your head onto your hand. But I want those shoulders stacked, I want the hips stacked, and I want the feet stacked. I want your feet to be at a slight angle. So, maybe piked a little bit forward of your mat. And then we're gonna take this top leg and extend it directly out from our hip. Now, we're gonna do some leg lifts. So if this is uncomfortable for you to have your leg extended, you can always bend this lower leg. So your choice, straight leg, piked forward, or bent leg, lower leg. We're gonna lengthen and lift that top leg up and down. We're flexing this foot as we lift it up, directly up, as high as is comfortable for you. As I will mention throughout my classes, if I ever tell you to do anything and it causes you pain or severe discomfort, stop doing it immediately and take a break. Stretch out what hurts. Relax what is uncomfortable. Never do anything that your body is telling you not to do. We need to listen to our bodies in all our exercises. So let's do 3 more of these. 2 and 1. Now I want you to take that top leg, lengthen it away from you, flex it, and then bring it in towards your chest, and then press it away. Try to keep those shoulders stacked, those hips stacked, as you bring that top leg in and extend. In and extend. Your top hand can be on your hip. It can be in front of you if you're finding that you're a little wobbly today. Or you can lift that arm up towards the ceiling. Your choice as you do your leg extensions. It's almost as if you're pressing that foot towards the opposite wall, bending in, pressing, bending, pressing, bending, pressing. 2 more of these. In and away, in and away. Now, I want you to take that bottom leg on top, bend the bottom leg, bend the top leg, so that they're resting on each other. Make sure your shoulders, your hips are stacked, and we're going to do clamshell. So for clamshell, you lift the top knee up, you keep the feet together, and then you release down. Lift up, release down. You may only get a little ways, you may only come up a few inches or a foot or maybe 2 feet, but come up as far as is comfortable on your hip as you do this clamshell stretch and exercise, keeping your feet together, up and down, up and down, mindfully lifting and mindfully lowering. Each exercise, breathing. You can always use weights for these exercises, placing a light weight on your thigh, or you can place your hand and do some resistance there. Let's lift and lower a few more times. Breathing. Each time we lift and lower, lift and lower. If you're not used to doing clamshells, this may be causing you some discomfort. We're going to do a stretch soon that hopefully will help out. Let's do 3 more of these. Up and down, and up and down, and 1 more, up and down. Now I want you to take that top leg and reach it forward, still bent, allowing yourself to come a little bit forward so you're not stacked. Your hips and your shoulders aren't stacked anymore. You're coming forward, allowing that front leg to rest forward of the other leg, allowing, massaging into this hip, into the glute, if you feel a little bit sore there. And when we do these types of stretches, try to release and relax as much as you can into these stretches. Maybe release your head, maybe close your eyes, take a few breaths. Allow your body to relax between these exercises. So important to get a good stretch that you relax into the stretch. Allow gravity to do its work. Now we're going to take another stretch. We're going to reach behind us and grab the top of our foot or the ankle or even the back of our thigh if you can't reach your foot or your ankle. And you're going to try to bring the heel as close to your glute, the middle of your gluteus maximus as you can, getting a hamstring stretch. So you're gently pulling that heel back towards your glute and you're pointing that knee towards the edge, the bottom of your mat. Stretching away, your hips are stacked again, your bottom leg is bent. You're opening your shoulder. Use this as an opportunity, just open and stretch your shoulder nice and wide. Try to release and relax into the stretch as you're gently pulling your heel back, as you're gently feeling this glute or this hip flexor stretch. Breathe into it, relax into it, stretch into it. If you're not feeling the stretch, you can always pull that knee back a little bit, pull that glute, pull that leg back just a little bit more to feel the stretch. And then gently release that leg, straighten that leg, and use that leg and the top arm to help you come up and come over to the other side. Let's get that all on the other side. Take a moment to stretch out, to release and relax. Make sure your shoulders, your hips are stacked. And once again, you can either bend that bottom leg or pike it out to the side. Your hand can be in front of you on your hip or lift it up. Entirely up to you. Let's get started with leg lifts. First, you're going to extend that top leg, flexing the foot, lengthening that leg away from your hip, and then you're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Mindfully lifting, mindfully lowering, making sure you're breathing as you do these leg lifts. Once again, you only lift as high as is comfortable for you. You don't want to get, you don't want to compromise your muscles inside of your groin. You want to be very careful when you do these leg lifts, but you also want to lengthen that leg, lengthen your body. You know, think about having your whole body active, your belly tucked, your shoulders open, you're breathing. Your whole body is engaged in this exercise. Let's do 3 more of these. 2 and 3. And now we're going to bend that knee in towards us and extend away. Bend in and extend. Bend and extend. And again, you can do a different arm level. If you want to try something different, lifting your arm up, maybe even placing it behind you to open up your shoulder. Just try not to lean back or forward. Try to keep your hips and your shoulders stacked. Actually, this is a very nice shoulder opener if you bring your arm back towards your middle of your back on your fingertips. That feels really good. Let's bring it in and out. Breathing as we bend and extend our leg. 3 more of these. 1, 2, and 3. Now, we're going to bend both legs, feet together, and we're going to do clamshell. I'm going to put my hands on my hips for clamshell, and we're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. Now, the tendency might be to lean forward or lean back. For this, try not to. You don't have to lift this leg very high to get the benefits of clamshell. If you don't feel it, you can use your hand or a set of weights to take it to the next level. And just make sure you're breathing as you're opening and closing your clamshell, using muscles that we don't normally use in our hips and our lower back. Making sure you're breathing, maybe even relaxing your upper body as you continue to do the clamshell. Once again, if you feel pain or if something really hurts or bothers you, take a break, relax for a minute. And let's do 3 more of these. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to take that leg and release it forward, knee and lower leg on the ground, and maybe reach our chest a little bit forward, bring our hip a little bit forward. You're not stacked anymore, you're just resting this leg down. Be sure to rest your upper body if that feels good as well. Just taking a few breaths here, allowing your leg to rest and release on the mat. And now we're going to take this into a hip flexor stretch, either by grabbing the foot, grabbing the ankle, grabbing the shin or the back of the thigh, just bringing that heel as close to your glute, as close to your sits bones as you can, opening your shoulder. Once again, you're stacked again. Your hips are stacked. Your shoulders are stacked. And you can use this hip flexor stretch as an opportunity to open up your shoulder, that top shoulder, pull your elbow back, open your shoulder. Maybe lower your head and relax as you get this nice hamstring stretch. Either press that knee towards the end of your mat, towards that side, or gently pull back towards the back wall to get a deeper stretch. Only stretch as far as is comfortable for you. Keeping length in your body. Don't scrunch up when you stretch. Keep length in your upper body to get the most out of this stretch. And then release down. Now, we're going to come up onto our hands and knees. And we're going to sit back on our heels just for a moment. Take a deep breath, inhaling up. And while I'm sitting on the backs of my heels, I actually have my toes tucked. So you can tuck your toes and see how that feels. This might be uncomfortable for a lot of people. If it is, just sit on your feet. If that's uncomfortable, just stay up in kneeling position, whatever feels good to you today. We're going to inhale up, and we're going to exhale down. Inhale up, lengthening, pressing into our knees, either sitting or lengthening. So you can be down here or up here. And exhale down. Now reach your hands forward. Curl your toes under and come into your down dog. So you're lifting your hips up. Your upside down V. You're lifting your hips, you're lengthening in your upper body, your arms, your legs, and begin to walk out your down dog. So begin to bend one knee and then the other in your down dog, and maybe moving your hips from side to side, your head from side to side. Put some movement into your down dog, just coming up. Moving your heels from side to side, hips from side to side, head from side to side. Keeping a slight bend in your knees, slight bend in your elbows. And then bring your dog to stillness as you walk your hands back to your feet and come into your forward fold. Relax, relax, rest. Your head, your neck, your shoulders in your forward fold. Move your upper body from side to side. Allow gravity to open up in your forward fold. Allow your head to release. Maybe shake it gently from side to side as you move your upper body from side to side. And then pause in your forward fold. Bend your knees deeply. And then come up like a rag doll. So let your head hang, let your arms hang, and just straighten your legs and begin to come up, stacking your vertebrae one at a time. Coming up slowly, very slowly, stacking each vertebra. And the last thing that comes up are your shoulders, stacking your neck, and then your head finally comes up. Let's take a moment in mountain pose, making sure our shoulders are over our hips. Our feet are hips width apart, and our hands are by our side, either palms forward or palms towards our thighs. Take your shoulders up, back, and down. One more time as you breathe, inhaling up and exhaling those shoulders back down. Bend your knees as you reach your arms out and up, taking an inhale, lengthening the fingertips up as you roll your shoulders back and down, looking forward, and begin to rock forward and back on the toes and on the balls of your feet, and then back on your heels, lifting your toes. Roll back and forth as you inhale and exhale on your toes, on your heels. One more time, toes and heels. And then bring your mountain pose to stillness. Roll your shoulders back and down. Bend your knees. Dive forward, arms wide. Reaching, lengthening. You're in your forward fold. Take a half lift on the inhale. Hands on your shins or on the mat or on your thighs. Tuck your belly as you lengthen the crown of your head forward, looking down at your mat. Exhaling forward, bending your knees, reaching out, palms up, and lengthening. Looking up between your hands, take a small back bend. So lifting and lengthening, rolling your shoulders back and down as you tuck your belly in. Inhale back to center, and then let's take a bend over to the side, reaching to the side, keeping length in both sides of your body as you take this side bend. Inhale back to center, and let's go over to the other side, lengthening fingertips towards where the ceiling meets the wall, keeping both sides lengthened, and inhaling back up. One more back bend, and back to center, and now we're going to twist. Bring our chest to one side, hips stay forward. So we're twisting to one side, inhale back to center, and twist to the other side. Hips forward, chest twisted to the side, and inhale back to center. Take a moment to roll your shoulders back and down. Lift from your fingertips, from the crown of your head, press into your feet as you dive forward. Exhaling. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Let's walk out once again and find your down dog. I'm going to come to the side just so you can see what I'm doing. You're in your down dog. You're lengthening from your fingertips to your armpits, pressing in to all portions of your hands. You're lifting your hips up high as you pull your heels towards the mat. You're tucking your belly button in and up in your down dog, pulling those shoulders away from your ears, shoulder blades down your back. Chest is open in your down dog. Inhale into your plank so that your shoulders are over your wrists. And then exhale into down dog once again. This time, inhale into plank and bring that right knee underneath of you towards your nose. And exhale, lifting that leg, coming into three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the knee in, into plank. Inhale, lift that leg one more time. Exhale, knee to nose, arch that back. Inhale, lengthen that leg behind you. Bring that foot down. Let's get the other side. So we're going to inhale to plank. Bring that left knee in to nose. And then we're going to exhale, down dog, three-legged dog, lifting the left leg up. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, lifting that leg up high. Knee to nose. Leg up high. Keep breathing. Knee to nose. And leg up high. Let's take a moment to bring that left foot down. Pause for a few breaths in your down dog or come into child's pose, your choice. If you can, find length and strength in your down dog. Tucking your belly, lifting your hips, relaxing your head. Take a breath. And then release your knees down and find your child's pose. So for child's pose, your hips come to your heels, your arms come forward or by your feet, and you relax your head down into child's pose. If you haven't already watched the child's pose tutorial, You can see all of the different options you have with child's pose. You can bring your legs wide, but the idea is to release your forehead to the mat, release your hands, your forearms to the mat, release your hips to your heels. If you watch the child's pose tutorial, you'll find out all the options you can do for child's pose, as well as the props that you can use to help you relax into this pose. Take a deep breath, filling your belly, filling your ribs. And on the exhale, release into the pose completely. Now we're going to inhale and we're going to take active child's pose. So we're going to walk our fingertips onto our fingertips, walk our fingertips away from us. Lift the crown of our head forward, lift our head from our mat. And we're going to walk over to this, off to the side of our mat, over to the side. Walk your fingers as far as you can go, stretching the one side, lengthening, walking your fingertips away and to the side at the same time, keeping your hips down as you stretch to the side. Relax your head down, take a breath here. Breathing into that side body stretch. Another breath. And on the exhale, walk those fingertips back to center. Take a moment to walk them away from you. Lengthen your fingertips, your forehead, the crown of your head forward as you pull your hips, your tailbone back. Just take a nice stretch, opening your heart. And then walk those fingertips to the other side. Off of your mat, off to the side, feeling the stretch in the other side of your body. Take a moment to walk those fingertips away and to the side, and then release and relax as you breathe into the pose. Taking an inhale and releasing on the exhale. Another inhale. And on the exhale, walk those fingertips back to center. Once more, walk them away from you. Crown of the head forward, hips hinging back. Let's walk our hands out to the side. So one hand goes one side, one hand goes the other side. And either rest your forehead or rest your chin on the mat as you open your shoulders, opening your arms out to the side. Keep your hands on your fingertips, lengthening those arms, opening the shoulders. If this hurts your neck in any way, tuck your head down or come out of the pose. But if you can, lengthen from the crown of your head, looking down at your mat or resting your chin, opening your shoulders, chest coming towards either your legs or the floor if you're in wide-kneed child's pose. Trying to lengthen your body, open your shoulders, lengthen your arms, and then walk those hands back or slide them back forward, taking your rested child's pose once again, allowing your arms to release, allowing your forehead to release, allowing your hips to release, and child's pose. One more breath. And then slowly begin to come up out of child's pose. Find your table pose. Hands slightly forward of your shoulders and down dog. Once again, lifting your hips, lengthening in your body, pressing into all portions of your fingers, your fingertips, your knuckles, the outer portion of your hands, your thumbs. Roll your shoulder blades down your back and in. Lengthen your body, the sides of your body. And then look up to your hands and step walk or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale. exhale to your forward fold. Bend your knees, arms out and up. Lifting, lengthening. Take a small back bend. Back to center and dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Place your hands down. Bend your knees as you walk your hands back. One at a time, walk your feet back. I'm sorry, your hands are down. You're walking your feet back to find your down dog. If you can't do that, standing up, you can always come onto your hands and knees and find your down dog that way. Now we're gonna inhale into plank. We're gonna bring our knees down to the mat. We're gonna come to the tops of our feet and we're gonna gently and slowly come down as we bend our elbows in, bringing our belly towards the mat, coming down slowly and resting our belly down. Our hands are under our shoulders. Our elbows are coming in towards our body. We're lengthening our toes away from our hips as we lift up our chest forward in baby cobra. Exhaling down, lengthening. Now we're gonna bring our arms forward, palms down, just above the shoulders. Walk once again your fingertips away from you, lengthening with your arms. And I want you to lift one leg just an inch from your hip. Lift that leg, lengthen it, point that toe, and release it down. Lift the other leg, lengthen from your hip, and release down. Press into your hands as you gently lift forward. Chest comes forward, pressing into the ground in front of you, taking a slight back bend, and release down. Now, lift your legs from the hip, lengthening, stretching. May only come up a few inches, pointing your toes. Now press into your hands as you lift your chest forward. Keep length in your lower body. If you're scrunching up or hurting your lower back, release down. You don't have to go up very far to get the benefit of this back bend. Once again, inhale. Lift the chest forward, press into the hands, press into the tops of the feet, then lift the legs, pointing your toes back, lift the fingertips, Superman. Again, you're lengthening, you're not scrunching up in your lower back, and release down. Now we're gonna reach the right hand back towards our toes, towards our right thigh, and we're gonna lift that right leg up as we look over our right shoulder, getting a little side stretch. You don't have to lift that right leg up high. If that hurts, release the leg down. But if you can, lift your chest slightly, look to the side. Pressing down with your right hand on the mat, or if you can, lift up and reach towards the side. Getting a side stretch and a lower back stretch. One more breath here. Release the hand, release the foot. Come back to center. Bring that right hand back to center. Let's get that on the other side. So bring your left hand to the side of your body, palm down. Lift your chest forward and look to the side, over towards your left leg, towards the left side, the left back of the room. Lift that left leg up, lengthen it, press into that forward hand. And if you like, you can lift that left arm up, reaching towards the back, lengthening. Take a breath, release down, and come back to center. One more Superman, pressing into your hands, chest comes forward, almost as if you're pulling those fingertips back with you as you look forward. Your back is a little bit more warmed up. Lift those legs up. Don't have to be far. Lift those hands. Superman. This time we're going to reach behind us with our hands, clasping our hands, reaching the knuckles back, toes back. This is a form of locust pose. Release down. Release your hands down, hand over hand, head to the side. Release your legs. Take a moment's rest here. We're going to do that one more time. Release the hands forward. Lift the legs, lift the arms, reach the arms back, clasp the hands behind you. Locust pose. You can always use a strap if you can't reach your hands, or you can just have your hands out to the side, reaching behind you. Try to hold this pose, pressing into your pubic bone, just below your belly button. And then release your legs, release your hands, hand over hand, rest on the other side of your head, on the other temple. Releasing and relaxing. Now gently come up, pressing up into your hands, up onto your hands and knees. And then come into a seated pose. You can either kneel once again on your heels, or you can sit cross-legged on a block, on a blanket, on a towel, whatever's comfortable for you. So find an easy seated position. I'm going to sit on a block because my hips are pretty tight and I want my hips or my knees to be at the same height or a little bit lower than my hips. So I'm sitting on a block. So let's find an easy seated pose. Take a moment to roll from side to side on our sits bones, releasing our head, neck and shoulders, allowing our head to move from side to side, maybe taking it in a circle in one direction and the other, gently moving, releasing and relaxing. Now let's take a moment to stack our shoulders over our hips, roll our shoulders back and down, and let's take a twist. So we're gonna reach the left hand up, reach the right hand up. The right hand goes behind us towards our sits bones, towards our glutes, and we lift up with the left, and we twist over to the side, using our left hand on our right thigh, twisting, looking to the side, keeping your chin parallel to the floor. Try to tuck your belly in. Try to release your hips, release your legs, soften your facial muscles, your jaw as you twist to the side. If it feels comfortable, twist a little further on the exhale, maybe looking over your right shoulder towards the back of the room. Once again, don't put any strain or stress on your back, on your neck in any way. So you can always look to the side and still get a very good stretch, keeping those shoulders open and wide, shoulder blades coming together. And then let's inhale back to center, lifting the arms up, lengthening, pressing into the sits bones, rolling the shoulders back and down, and let's get the twist to the other side. So the left arm goes behind our glutes, the right across your left thigh, lifting and lengthening as you twist to the side on the inhale. Exhaling, maybe twisting a little further, using this arm to help you twist. Looking to the back of the room if that feels okay on your neck. If not, look to the side of the room. Just keep your chest, your collarbones open to the side as you twist. Take another breath and lengthen. And on the exhale, twist a little further if that feels good to you. And then come back to center. If you're sitting cross-legged, switch your legs. And then let's inhale the arms up and take a side bend. So come one hand down, fingers towards the front, elbow towards the back, lifting and lengthening, and then coming over to the side, the top arm across the ear. And if it feels comfortable, you can look up in front of your arm as you're lengthening the side of your body. Try not to scrunch down on this side. Try to keep length in both sides. Reaching where the ceiling meets the wall. You don't have to reach over like this. You can reach and lengthen by reaching where the ceiling meets the wall. And looking up at the ceiling if that feels good. Inhale back up to center. Both arms up as you lengthen. Roll your shoulders back. Release the other arm down, fingertips forward, elbow towards the back. Lift and lengthen that lifted arm over towards where the ceiling meets the wall. And if it feels comfortable as you lengthen, look up at the ceiling. Breathing, stretching. One more breath. And then back up to center, lengthening, lifting, and releasing your hands down. Let's get another stretch. This time we're going to have our legs wide. We're sitting on the mat or on a blanket if that feels more comfortable to you. Bring one leg in. Bring the right leg in. And then take your left arm inside your left leg or just underneath the left leg or just reaching. We're going to do a side bend. Flex that left foot. Reach your ear towards your knee as you lift and lengthen first and reach over to the side, lengthening, and then lifting the right arm up and over. Another side bend, just slightly different this time. Reaching, lengthening. Try to relax this right knee down as you reach over, maybe looking up at the ceiling. Feeling a nice stretch in your side body. Inhaling back up. And let's get that on the other side. So straighten out the right leg. Bring in the left leg. Take a moment to lengthen as you reach your right hand, same leg, under same leg. Flex that foot, lengthen that leg away from you as you look to the side, reaching the right ear towards the right knee, lifting up with the left arm, and using this lower arm, this right arm, to help pull you towards your leg, your extended leg, lengthening, reaching. Once again, only stretch as far as feels comfortable. If you feel any pain, come out of the pose. Or relax back a bit out of the stretch. You can look under your armpit, up towards the ceiling, whatever feels comfortable. Just try to keep your neck in general, keep your neck in alignment with your spine. You don't want your neck and head to drop too far, and you don't want to lift it up too high. You want to keep it in alignment with your spine. Protect your neck. And inhale back up. And now we're going to extend both legs forward. And we're just going to take a seated forward fold. So let's take a moment, flexing our feet, sitting on our sits bones, maybe rolling back and forth, moving the hip flesh away. Inhaling our arms up, palms up. Pressing into our sits bones, pulling back, flexing our feet, and hinging forward. Hinging at your hips, keeping your back straight as you reach forward. You may not get very far. Just reach as far as you can, keeping your back straight, and then release your hands, release your head, allow your shoulders to droop in your seated forward fold. Release your feet, release the whole of your body, allowing gravity to gently stretch your head, your neck, your shoulders forward in your seated forward fold. Don't forget to breathe here. Keep enough length in your neck and your throat so you can breathe easily. If you find yourself scrunched over too far and you can't breathe well, just lift your chin slightly to allow your breath to flow easily in and out of your body. And then slowly come up, dragging your feet. Dragging your hands and then rolling your shoulders once you come up, just a few times, up, back, and down, up, back, and down. And let's find our way to our back once again. Rolling onto our back. And this time, we're going to lift our legs and point and flex like we did at the beginning of class. Point and flex, point and flex. Our hands too, if you don't need to hold on to your legs. Notice if your legs are a little bit more warmed up, maybe you can straighten your legs a little bit more. Pointing and flexing and then rolling in a circle. Dead bug, half dead bug. Allowing all that fluid to move back towards your heart, towards your lymph system. And then reverse. And then bring those knees in for a nice knee hug, rolling from side to side. Maybe taking those knees in your hands and rolling in a circle. Massaging your lower back. And then taking that circle in the other direction. Circling, massaging. And one more knee hug. And then bring those arms out to the side, palms up or down. Legs up in chair so your knees are over your hips. Your lower legs are parallel to the floor. And then you're going to allow your legs just to gently roll to the side, knees and lower legs rolling to the side. Don't release them yet. Hold them. Just hover them above the ground. Keep both shoulders on the mat as you hover those legs. And then inhale as you lift them up, back to center. And then roll them over gently to the other side, keeping both arms and shoulders on the mat. Inhaling as you roll up. You're hovering those legs just above the mat as you roll from side to side. Pause and hover. Notice the muscles that are allowing you to do this. Inhale back up to center. And then exhale as you release to the other side. Once again, hovering above the mat. And then inhaling back to center. One more time, each side. Rolling to the side. Hovering, hovering, hovering. Maybe extending that top leg away from you. If you want an extra stretch. And then bring the leg back in and come over to the other side. Once again, those knees, those lower legs are hovering just above the mat. Shoulders are on the mat. And extend that top leg if that feels comfortable. Straightening. And then bending back and coming back to center. Now when we go over to the side, we're going to finally release those knees, those lower legs down. We're going to look to the opposite side to get a nice twist. Trying to keep both shoulders on the mat, trying to relax your head, relax your neck, your shoulders, your hips, your legs. Take a deep, deep breath all the way into your belly. And then as you exhale, really release your body, really relax your whole body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. do that one more time. Nice deep, deep breath, filling up your belly, and exhaling, releasing, relaxing. And let's bring your head back to center. Top leg starts coming up, followed by the lower leg, back into center. Take a moment to adjust your shoulders, your hips, and then roll those knees over to the other side, gently allowing them to release. Remember, you can always use a block or a pillow in between your knees, underneath your knees, to relax into these twists, looking over to the side. Take a deep, deep belly breath. And when you release, totally melt into your mat. Let everything go. Your jaw, your facial muscles, close your eyes. Release into your mat, everything. One more deep, deep breath. And let it go. All your worries melting into the mat. Head slowly back to center. Top leg, followed by the lower leg. And now is the time in our practice where we take whatever stretch we need to take for our body to feel good prior to our short shavasana. We might do a 3-minute shavasana tonight. If you'd like, you can take a wide-kneed child's, wide-kneed knee hug, or you can take a happy baby. Stretch whatever way feels good to you. If you want to do dead bug, if that's your new favorite pose, do a dead bug. But just take a nice stretch, a nice roll, a nice movement from side to side. As you prepare your body for the most important pose, your shavasana pose. And if you're not used to shavasana, or if it makes you uncomfortable, I encourage you to try to do your shavasana, to try to allow your practice to seep into your bones, seep into your body, seep into your consciousness. Allow yourself these few minutes to release and relax in your mat. Soften everything. Release everything. Close your eyes. And enjoy your shavasana. Slowly begin to bring yourself back into your body. by wiggling your fingers and your toes, maybe opening and closing your hands, pointing and flexing your feet. Gently bend your knees, bringing your feet, soles of your feet to the floor, and then rolling over onto your side, the left side for energy if you're just starting your day, or the right side if you want to stay released and relaxed. Just come over onto your side, resting your head, resting your legs, your hips, just for a few more breaths. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking this time, giving yourself the gift of yoga and Pilates and stretching. You deserve it. Give yourself the time to relax and release every day if you can. Let's slowly extend that top leg and help push yourself up with your top arms, slowly coming up into a nice, easy seated pose. Either kneeling, cross-leg, whatever feels comfortable for you. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Reach your arms out wide, lifting them up towards the ceiling, looking up as you lengthen. Lifting your heart, rolling your shoulders back and down. Lifting your chin if that feels good on your neck. Watch your hands touch. Slowly bring your hands down to your heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me for this practice. The light in me honors and bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you all again. See you next time. Bye-bye.